Welcome back. We are out here. We have lots of rain. Lots and lots of rain. So it's a little muddy. Not bad. Tool trucks are running. We have to work on the chain on this chipper. That's what we need to do this morning. Right there. We got to do that. But we just got lots of water here. But this chipwood is what you want. I stopped by here yesterday and I said, man, just let me chip one load. And it's good looking wood. It's nice chipwood. We gotta do some chain, but I'll let him finish this load. Try to get out of the mud. It don't get no better than that right there. All that has to be cut yet. Oh man. Just getting in the chipper here, and we're going through the chain. We got to put new chain in. It's a little wore out. Cody wore it all out for us. But the two were peerless, and the ones were the ones that we were trying out. And there is not much for difference in them. They're just about the same. The edges still have 8s on them of both of them. And they're both wore down about exactly the same. This is your peerless one here that we put in, and then this is the one they wanted to try out. There is not a whole lot of difference in those two chains. So we looked her over, and they're all about that same length. And they all seem to wear about the same. And the hardness of them seem to be good. So everything looks good. They look about the same. There's not a difference one way or the other. Nothing's breaking off. You can both tell how they wear right here. They have that little flat spot there, and then this one has that little flat spot there. That's just because that's where this is. So they get smashed up in that one link quite a bit. That third link gets hit pretty hard. So you can tell they're just about exactly the same on those two. So that's how it is all the way around. The edges still got 9s in them, and the middle's got the guts tore out of her a little bit, which means that's what that tells you, is he's putting the wood right through the middle of the chipper, which is what you want. And so the guts are wore out and the edges have a little bit on there. So we're going to go back through and fill her back in, put a little bit up there. It needs a little bit, not a whole lot. Those things are aggressive there. Them things work great. I'm impressed with those. And you can kind of see you got a couple long ones on this side, and the majority of the wood's going right through the guts of her. That's what you want. Yeah, things are looking good in here. But those wore real well. Real well. So here we go. back up a little bit. We just got done chipping for the day. We're all wrapped up, and I watched the video. Well, obviously I was standing outside here. All this stuff was hitting me in the face and between the legs and everywhere else. There was stuff flying out at me. It's vicious what goes on in here. It's not pretty at all. But it was a good thing opening this up. I learned a little bit. And we try to do, with this chipper and our new 2755, we're always trying to change things up a little bit, make things work better. We've done some stuff to this in the past year, really changed the chipper as far as feeding wood through it, stuff like that. A new feed wheel. We just really been changing stuff all the time, trying to make a better chip, a cleaner chip, and get the most wood through it while doing that. So when I watched it run, I didn't put new chains on down here. I put used ones that were longer, 7 or 8 link, and then I put new, those are square link 12s. And what this would normally run would be a 13 peerless and an 8 peerless chain. With the squares we went with 12 because they're just a little bit different. These are compared to these, so you got a little bit different stuff going on. But the top flail seemed to be really working good, and that doesn't have a lot of chain in it. That's about what we keep in it probably. That might be on a little light side, but that's about perfect right there. And as you can tell, the beginning video was really good, and then it kind of turns into chaos. But this flail drum didn't seem to be taking off as much chain or as much bark as I would like. So I was thinking about it. Here's what I think, and I'm going to explain it on the video. And one reason is maybe I'm totally out of kilter here, out of whack. But Mike can at least look at it and see what Mike thinks. He's a million times smarter on this chipper stuff than I am. He's forgotten more than I know. He's taught me everything. So, what I was thinking was this. That takes an 8-link chain. What if we cut this off, move that whole belly pan that goes all the way down into here and drops into the conveyor? What if we torched it off and slid it back to about right there? It's about 6 inches. Okay, maybe 7 inches. Moved it back to there and re-welded that up right there. Now, I'd also change the angle. Instead of coming from a 90 down, I'd cut that angle off like that. Let stuff fall down in there. Right now, when this is smacking everything, it dumps it, and it all dumps into that. It doesn't. It can't go underneath it. It has to go over top, and then get busted all up into pieces. And the other Model 23 that we have, Flail, does have a different angle right there. And it's not this 90. And of course, the 2755 has just a real nice gradual angle where that stuff can drop actually way before that bottom flail drum. So, as I watched it and I thought, if we ever get any downtime with this machine, I mean, if I had Brian the parts, I bet you he could do it in 2 days. I bet you he could cut that out, move that back 6 inches, okay? And then we'd have to get new plastic, which these plastics are starting to wear out anyways, so it wouldn't be a big deal to change all the plastic. So we'd have, I guess you might not even need new plastics because your 9 links are only going to go up the end of there anyways, okay? So you probably wouldn't even have to do new plastics, but while you're in there doing it, you can put new plastic in it because it is getting slightly wore. The one of the other problems we have is, as you can see, if you look right there, it's kind of hard to see, but when this dumps right there. Now, let me explain. When this bark comes down, it dumps, and when it dumps, it can get on that chain for your conveyor, which isn't a big deal. The big deal starts when you break off a couple of these links, and these links fall down, and what happens is these links will get caught in that chain, and they'll fall right in that chain, and where they get hung up is out at that roller, and just beyond that roller, and it'll bring your chain to a halt, and then you got to get out, and it'll get caught in there, but on this side, and it'll bring your chain to a halt. Then you got to get out and dig it out and find it, and it's a mess. So on the new chipper, this steel actually comes out and dumps over top of the bar. It tries to get it away from the chain. Okay, so when you push that back, you could put a new little piece down there, the steel, extending it so that stuff tries to get out and not dump right on your chain, more on your bars. That's what I'm thinking. Then here's the kicker. You put your 9 links on here and you get away from your 8 links. Your 9 links will take that bark off a little better than these 8s. And you're clearing that feed wheel still. And you would be clearing this wall now. And these curtain chain would still be fine. And that is what I've been brainstorming all afternoon. Well, I ran chipper today, so got a good stash of wood there. She's all filled right up. That's what I've been thinking about. What if we slid that back, put 9s in here, because the new chipper runs all 9s. So you didn't have to buy 8 link anymore, which don't buy a whole lot of 8 link. But when some stuff gets wore out, we cut it into 8s, we can just cut it into 9s. So only thing is you have to be careful with your belts, stuff like that. You're putting a little more weight on that. I don't think the weight would bother that at all. Your bearings, everything would be fine because those were all the same as those, and I think you'd be fine. And a lot of the problems we have, I know I'm talking a lot, but I just wanted to explain it. When we have stuff, it'll get wrapped up in this drum, and when it'll lock that drum up and then smoke your belts. And when it gets wrapped up, it'll wrap around it and it gets hung up right here because of that straight up angle. Or I've had where a stump or something will come through, fall down in, and it gets stuck right here and locks that drum up. If you had that pushed back more than what it is now, you put one more link on there and back it up an extra 4 or 5 inches, 6 inches than you need to, and change that angle of this, it has more of a gradual slope to it to get it out of here. Because this drum's turning this way, and it would flush that right out into there. That's my brainstorming. I think it could be done pretty easily. I think. Yep. The other side doesn't have anything there, and there's nothing down in there. So moving that back wouldn't be too huge of a deal. Then you could put 9 link on that, and you would do a better job of getting that bark off that tree, which is the whole goal of all this stuff. The whole goal of this whole part of this machine, what we're trying to produce. And I think it'd work great. So that's my brainstorming for the day. Fill chain on this one looks about the same, and we're gonna just keep rolling. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch everybody later.